Welcome to Harvard Summer School's Programs for High School Students webinar. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is JP Knapik, and I'll be your moderator. I'm thrilled that so many of you are joining us from near and far to learn more about the programs Harvard has to offer high school students during the summer term. I know we haven't even reached the winter season yet, but summer 2020 will be here before we know it. So kudos to you for all getting a head start and planning ahead for next summer. You may be happy to know that prospective students just like you apply and attend from all over the United States and countries from 6 continents. The diversity of this student population is one of the hallmarks of our programs. Former students say that the exposure to different points of view helped them become better critical thinkers and opened up their perspectives on life and the world at large. Some even stay in touch with their classmates well into the college years. This year, we expect over 10,000 high school students from all over the world to apply to our programs. One of them might just be you. Which brings me to introducing our presenters, 3 individuals integral in making those admissions decisions. I'm so excited that we have both of our program directors, Jackie Newcomb and Mr. Bill Hollinger. Between the two of them, they have over 30 years of experience developing and overseeing higher education programs for high school students. Mr. Bill Hollinger is the director of the 7-week secondary school program, and Dr. Jackie Newcomb is the director of our 2-week pre-college program. I'm delighted that we also have a new addition with us today, Gina Neugebauer, assistant director of the secondary school program, who has over 3 years of experience between both programs, and she pretty much is considered our resident expert for all things summer at Harvard. All 3 of our presenters will walk you through some of the highlights of our 2 Harvard summer programs, and we're so glad you're here to join us. Before we get started, I'm just gonna share a quick agenda with you, and then you're gonna have a night full of great information and a Q&A. So as I mentioned, you'll hear from both of our directors about their programs. Then we'll share some details about what it's like to live and study here on campus, regardless if it's 2 or 7 weeks. We'll move on from there to what I'm sure most of you have chosen to come here tonight for, is the application process. And we'll wrap up our 60 minutes together with a brief Q&A. You can begin submitting your questions, which I see a lot of you have already, in the Q&A icon below. We will try to get to as many of these as possible, and any that don't get answered, we'll document and email those out to you before the application opens on December 2nd. You got that right. December 2nd is when the application opens. Mark your calendars. I also want to mention that we're recording this tonight, and we'll be sure to share the recording via email in early December. Now that all of our housekeeping is done, and I'm done fumbling over my words, let's get started. First, we'll hear from Mr. Hollinger, who will walk you through our longest running program, the secondary school program.
Thank you, JP. It's a pleasure to be here with you all out there and with my colleagues here at Harvard. Welcome. I'm Bill Hollinger, and here at Harvard, we are very excited to be planning our 54th year of bringing high school students to Harvard for summer study. In 2020, the secondary school program dates are June 20th to August 8th. You may apply to the program beginning on December 2nd, and at that time, if you are eligible, you may also apply for financial aid. The early deadline for admission is January 31st, and early applicants will be notified of an admission decision by February 25th. Once admitted, you accept your admission, and then on March 2nd, you may register for your courses. You arrive on campus on Saturday, June 20th, and summer school classes begin that Monday on June 22nd. The truly astonishing thing about the secondary school program is that it offers high school students the opportunity to enroll in real Harvard courses. You choose your classes from over 200 Harvard summer school courses, and you earn undergraduate academic credits, which in future years can be transferred to the college you attend. It's a preview of real college academics. You take classes alongside college students, possibly some graduate students, and probably a few other smart high school students like yourself. It's a challenge, and it's a tremendous opportunity. It's your future coming true next summer. International students are welcome to apply. We read applications from students all over the world. We ask them for evidence of English language proficiency in the form of a language test score, and we also ask that your high school transcript be translated into English. Now, in the secondary school program, you can attend 3 ways. You can take an online course or 2, or if you live near campus, you can attend classes as a commuter, or you can be a residential student, live in Harvard housing, and attend classes on campus. And the classes are amazing. Secondary school program students enroll in courses taught by the same professors who teach at Harvard College during the regular fall and spring terms, as well as by faculty from colleges and universities all over the world. When it's time to register for your classes in March of next year, you'll have more than 200 courses to choose from. We are here to advise you during that process. We know the courses well, and we are happy to talk with you about your interests and help you enroll in classes you'll enjoy and be successful in. There's so much flexibility built into choosing courses. You can change courses anytime during the spring, all the way into the summer term. When classes begin on June 22nd, there remains a drop add period 3 days into the first week, Monday through Wednesday. During those 3 days, you may attend other classes and see whether you like another course better. You'll have 3 days to change courses after classes begin. High school students currently in their sophomore, junior, or senior year are eligible to apply. In the US, that's current 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. The program cost depends upon how you attend. As an online student only, as a commuter living off campus, or as a residential student living in a Harvard dorm and taking meals in Annenberg Dining Hall. Key dates include the beginning of the application period on December 2nd and the start of course registration for admitted students March 2nd, the full payment deadline of May 18th, then opening weekend, June 20th and 21st, and then the beginning of classes, June 22nd. Finally, sadly, the summer term will end when the dormitories close at noon on Saturday, August 8th. And now, for some good information about the 2-week sessions of the Harvard Pre-College program, I'm happy to pass the mic over to my colleague and friend, Dr. Jackie Newcomb.
Thank you, Mr. Hollinger. Hello, my name is Jacqueline Newcomb, and I direct the Pre-College program, Harvard Summer School's 2-week residential program. The Pre-College program is a great opportunity for those who cannot spend an entire summer at Harvard. Our session dates for 2020 are June 28th to July 10th, July 12th to the 24th, and July 26th to August 7th. You will experience college life as you attend challenging classes, live on campus in one of our upper class houses, and enjoy fun excursions and activities as part of our pre-college passport. Students in our programs hail from nearly every U.S. state and over 70 countries. Hopefully someone from Wyoming is on this call and will be here this summer. This offers a true opportunity for you to meet and learn with brilliant students from around the world. The pre-college program offers non-credit courses, allowing students to focus on learning for learning's sake. The courses are intensive and academically rigorous, covering nearly a semester worth of work in just 2 weeks. Courses meet daily for 3 hours, and students should expect 2 to 4 hours of homework each night. It's important to note that you must attend all of your classes, including the last day, in order to successfully complete the program. Since the program is short, we want to ensure you get a true taste of Harvard. So all of our instructors are Harvard-affiliated faculty, staff, postdocs, or advanced doctoral students who have experience teaching Harvard undergraduates. There are over 30 courses offered each session, ranging from astronomy, biology, physics and neuroscience, to writing, speech, economics, law, and philosophy. Although you might only participate in one course per session, some pre-college students attend 2 or even 3 separate sessions so that they can take more than one course. Class size is limited, with most around 15 to 18 students, in order to foster an environment of collaboration where the instructor and the students can develop a strong relationship. All pre-college students receive a written evaluation from their instructor, and this is a great supplement for your college application. You can also request an official transcript with your non-credit grade. In addition to your academic course, students also are engaged in the pre-college passport activities. Prior to arrival, students sign up for 2 events in each of the following 4 co-curricular categories: academic exploration, college readiness, social and residential activities, and trips and recreation events. With the pre-college passport, you have the freedom to choose the events you would like to attend during the program, but you also have the responsibility to challenge yourself by learning new skills and engaging with new ideas. High school students graduating in 2021 or 2022, those currently in their sophomore or junior year, are eligible to apply. All applicants must be 15 years old by December 1st and not turn 19 before July 31st. The program fee of $4,750 includes your tuition, room, meal plan, and all your co-curricular activities. Applications will be available on December 2nd. If you are a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, you may also apply for need-based financial aid. The deadline for financial aid and early decision is January 31st at noon, and that's Eastern Time. Although we accept applications through early May, many of our most popular courses are long full before that time. So don't delay. And now back to JP.
All right. Thank you, Bill and Jackie. You both have done some amazing work in developing programs that, over the years, have had huge impacts on our students' education and personal lives to this day. Did you know that over 76% of former high school students from 2016 to 2019 said they were better prepared for college life after attending one of our high school programs at Harvard?
That's fantastic.
And I think it's not only because of the challenging and enriching academic experience, but also it's about the next topic that our very own Gina Neugebauer is going to talk about next, campus life. In the next section, we'd like to give you an idea of what it's like to study here at Harvard, especially as a high school student.
High school students living on campus with us live in the buildings where Harvard College students live during the fall and spring semesters. Most secondary school program students live in dormitories in Harvard Yard, where first-year Harvard students live during the traditional academic year. All pre-college program and some secondary school program students live in Harvard houses, where Harvard upper-class students live. You live with roommates and suitemates, share bedrooms, sometimes with bunked beds, and share bathrooms and common rooms with your roommates or suitemates. There are many combinations and variations of rooms and the size of suites because the architecture of Harvard dormitories varies a great deal from building to building. Safety in the dorms is paramount, and so the residential buildings are accessible only to high school students and our staff. Older students and other adults are not allowed in your dorms except during move-in. Our proctors live amongst you to assist and guide you. Proctors are Harvard College students, as well as other college students, and they are there to counsel and advise you and to answer any questions you may have. So, while academics are going to require a good deal of work and study outside the classroom, Harvard Summer School organizes many activities to fill your free time with engaging and fun activities. These can include intramural sports like basketball, swimming, soccer, and tennis, or social events like dances and game night in Annenberg Dining Hall, talent shows, college prep activities like the college admission panel with college students from various institutions, and the annual college fair held the second week of July. These can include trips to Boston, Cape Cod, and Newport, Rhode Island, Major League Baseball games, and service opportunities, for example, volunteering in a local homeless shelter. Harvard has amazing resources, and these are all open to our summer students. You can do research in Harvard libraries, work out or swim or play basketball in Harvard gyms, go rowing on the Charles River, attend a concert in Sanders Theater, and you can visit all the Harvard museums at no charge. As Harvard students in our summer programs, you will have access to Harvard University Health Services, as well as other medical resources, such as our local Harvard hospitals. In addition, the Summer School Accessibility Services Office is here to assist all of our admitted students to succeed academically and socially. The university works very hard to keep our students safe. Safety is the first priority of all staff and administrators. Residential staff are well trained, and there are 2 locked doors between the public campus and students in their suites. Harvard has its own police department, whose job it is to protect our students. Additional security guards patrol the residential areas 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, back to you, JP.
Thank you, Gina. You bring up some really great points for both students and parents to consider what they're going to do next summer. And someone who is a student or parent may be really interested in hearing from but couldn't make it here tonight is our very own Dean of Harvard Summer School, Sandra Naddaff. She sends her regrets for not being able to make it here tonight, but wanted to share her thoughts on our summer high school programs at Harvard in this video message.
I think the most exciting experience for a student coming to either one of these programs is the chance to discover intellectual realms that they wouldn't have known about otherwise. What you have the chance to do here at the Harvard Summer School is taste some of those disciplines, look at anthropology, look at immunology, take courses in philosophy and law or psychopharmacology, and discover fields that aren't available to you as a regular high school student. It's an extraordinary experience, and I think sets you up so well for college. There are some real academic outcomes that we hope students will accomplish in either secondary school program or the pre-college program. How to manage your time. This is one of the things I think students really struggle with when they get to college, because you have so much more flexibility in your schedule. So how do you manage your time? How do you decide how much to study? How much time do you spend in the library? How do you fit in exercise and just time for social engagement? So I think that's a really important skill, but equally important, and perhaps even more important, is the opportunity to develop the kinds of academic skills that will set you up well for college. You'll be writing a lot. You'll be giving oral presentations. You'll be engaging in what we hope is civilized debate in the classroom. And those are skills as well that will stand you in very good stead in college.
We hope that what we've shared about our
I
programs
think the most exciting
and what living at Harvard is like interests you enough to want to come here and study with us in 2020. So in order to do so, you need to apply first. And I'm here to share a little information on our application process. I'll be fully transparent in letting you know that the only advantage you will have by attending this webinar when it comes to the application is that you will be better prepared for what to expect next month once the application opens. Both the secondary school and the pre-college programs are looking for mature, academically motivated applicants who are interested in engaging and challenging college-level courses. We expect our students to have strong academic records and a passion for learning. Whether you have many interests or are more focused in one area, we want to read about this in your short essays. A complete application includes contact information, several essays, your grade report or transcript from 9th grade to your current semester, and if you're a non-native speaker of English, TOEFL IBT or IELTS academic scores. Within the online application, you can send your guidance counselor or school head an email to complete a counselor report. Lastly, you will need to submit the rules and media release form online, in which you can request a link be sent to your parent or legal guardian inside the application. Please note that there is a non-refundable application fee of $75. When completing your short essays, please be thorough. Although we ask you to write only a couple of paragraphs, we would really like to get to know you to determine if our programs are the right fit for you. Our goal is to admit applicants who will thrive in our programs. The essays offer us an opportunity to determine your level of interest. Please be sure to proofread them before submitting. Using a phone or mobile device is not recommended. Consider this application a practice run for the ones you will complete when applying to university in the future. Once you upload all materials and submit your application, you should log back into our website to check your status. This step will enable you to see if the materials you and your counselor or parent and legal guardian submitted were received properly and meet the criteria. For example, we require current semester grades, and those are often missing from the academic transcript. So many students will also have to submit their most recent report card or even a mid-semester progress report. The application committee will review completed applications after the submission of all materials. You should receive an email prompting you to check your application status for our decision based on the calendar on our website. For early decision, that will be on February 25th, and regular decision is April 7th. Anyone who applies during the late decision period will hear back within 3 weeks of submission. Lastly, we know some of you attending tonight's webinar are international students. So here are a few things to be aware of as you consider applying to either program. As Mr. Hollinger and I have mentioned previously, students from other countries where English is not your primary language are required to demonstrate English proficiency in the form of a language test score, like the TOEFL IBT or the IELTS academics exam. And we ask that your high school transcript be translated into English. All instruction here at Harvard Summer School and all application materials are written in English, so a high level of English language proficiency is a must. Financial aid is also available for any U.S. citizens, permanent residents, or individuals who have DACA status. Unfortunately, we do not have financial aid options for international students. International students participating in the secondary school program require an F1 student visa to study on campus. And the application deadline for international students wanting to attend the secondary school program, the 7-week program, is April 23rd.
Thank you, Jackie, for sharing such great insights. And I'm going to point one little typo that's my fault on there. She's correct in the April 23rd. That last slide might have said April 20th, but I just want to make that correction. That's on me. Now, before we move on to our Q&A, yes, we're already at that point tonight because I'm sure you're all done listening to us babble about the rigid stuff. We'll take your questions, and our colleague Emma here has been vigorously writing them down. We have over 152 questions submitted so far, so you definitely have a lot of them, so we're happy to answer as many as we can tonight. But before we move on, there's one last video we'd like to share with you about some students who've taken our programs over the past 2 years.
I remember when I first came here, the first thing I said was, "Oh my gosh." It was the first time being here, it really felt like I was on the set of a movie. The architecture is so beautiful. The people here are really amazing. It was just exceeded my expectations, definitely.
I've learned so much more.
It was the first time being here, it really felt like I was on the set of a movie. The architecture is so beautiful. The people here are really amazing. It was just exceeded my expectations, definitely.
I've learned so much more.
The set of a movie, the art, definitely.
Much more.
Okay, sorry for those technical difficulties. That video played magically earlier, and then when you switch a room and insert a different cable, you get a whole different result. If you want to go to our website, we have 2 great videos on the landing pages for both our pre-college 2-week program and our 7-week secondary school program that include some of those very students who you kind of saw in that video. Apologies, but their videos on the website are much better and give a really great description of what their experience was like for the entire summer. Like I said, we're here to answer your questions. So Emma, throw them at us, and we're just going to do a round robin for the next 30 minutes. So here we go.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Emma Corbett, as JP mentioned. We are seeing a lot of questions asking about scholarships and financial aid. Students want to specifically know if they can receive scholarships as international students, as in the country students. So can both programs please answer that question once more?
Sure. Shall I start, Emma?
Sure.
Okay. Bill Hellinger here, gang. Our financial aid is for U.S. students, domestic students, permanent residents, and DACA qualified American students. Unfortunately, we have no funding for international students. We're sorry about that. The fact is that wherever you live, if you live overseas someplace, you're in your country, there may very well be funding available either nationally through some funding from your government, or possibly some local funding that will help you. Our financial aid for U.S. citizens and permanent residents and DACA students is based on family financial need. So when the financial aid application opens at the same time as the program application, you'll be able to fill in that financial aid application, and our financial aid office sorts through all those applications. Dr. Newcomb?
Just a reminder, there are 2 rounds of financial aid this year. We have our first priority early admission financial aid, which is on January 31st. That is where the largest pool of need-based aid will be available. So I strongly recommend, if you have a need for financial aid, we do offer partial scholarships. We don't do any full scholarships, but we do pretty significant partial scholarships for students who are high need and highest need. And that biggest pool of money will be available during the priority financial aid deadline. Then we have a second deadline, which is the regular application deadline and financial aid in March. Once you get into late application, unfortunately, we will not have aid available for that round. So if you know you want to come, please apply early. The other benefit of applying for for early decision rather than regular is you will have a decision from the admission committee in time to register the first day courses open. This is more significant for pre-college because all of our courses are limited enrollment. As I mentioned earlier, most of the courses are between 15 and 18 students. So my psychopharmacology class is going to fill up on the first day.
And one more thing, so the financial aid application is actually going to be within your application for both pre-college and the secondary school program. So you'll fill that out as you're going through your actual application. What I've heard from students in the past, they were concerned that if they applied for financial aid, that could be taken into account when they were being reviewed by the admissions committee. We're actually a need-blind admissions committee. So what that means is that our financial aid committee is completely separate. So the information you put in gets sent directly to them. Whereas the admissions committee, we just review your essays, your transcripts, your council report forms. So they're basically two sets of people making decisions, and we don't communicate with each other. So I really urge you to apply for financial aid and know that that's not going to be considered when we're looking at whether you would be a great fit for our programs.
Awesome. And I think, one of the hallmarks or the key differences between these two groups, as Dr. Newcomb mentioned, is this ideal of the classes that you'll be in, the class size. So pre-college, the students get a really, can you go and explain that a little bit more, Dr. Newcomb, and
Sure.
how the philosophy around the class size for pre-college?
Yes, so for pre-college, it's a non-credit learning for learning's sake experience. So I know most of the students who apply to our programs and are successful are the brightest students in their school. And they're used to having to work really hard or be worried about getting an A. We give them a break and just let them learn in a subject they may not have any experience in, like neuroscience or poetry or something, something they may not have experience in, and give them that opportunity without having to worry about a letter grade. Because the faculty member writes a written evaluation for each student, we like them to get to know their students. So our class sizes are pretty small. The largest class we offer is usually 20 students.
Wow. And then, Bill, what I think is interesting about the secondary school program is you still do get that opportunity to explore courses, but can you explain a little bit more about how your philosophy on course selection and how you help students think about maybe taking a topic that they might not be familiar with? Or
Sure. Thanks, JP. We're the program that puts students in the third semester of Harvard College. So, as I say, you have over 200 college classes to choose from. It's a lot of, you have a lot of choices, and we're happy to talk with students about what they're interested in. I find it's often best to match your passion with maybe something that you haven't explored yet. Of course, that as I think Dean Nadaf put it, an intellectual area that you haven't entered yet, something new. The class size varies a great deal in Harvard Summer School. There are plenty of small classes. Math courses are small, writing classes. There's public speaking. There are seminars that are on a vast array of topics with only 12 to 14 students in the class, and an opportunity to do a lot of research and even possibly give a report at the end of the semester. So there's a great deal of variety. There are the large science courses where you're in class and in labs with college students and graduate students. So there are any number of different academic experiences that you can opt for in the secondary school program.
Great.
Awesome. Another question many students have been asking is that, can they apply for both programs at the same time?
No. No, I'm afraid not. You have to make a choice and apply for one or the other.
I think we want students to be intentional in their decision. Do they want to come for a 2-week experience where they're getting a taste of college life without the pressure of grades, or do they want to be here for a longer intensive experience of 7 weeks getting college credit? And I think in the pre-college program, we tend to be more structured. We have mandatory fun. We have our pre-college passport, and we have courses that run every day for 3 hours with 2 to 4 hours of homework each night. So if you think that structure is something you really need, then the pre-college program might be a better fit for you.
And in the secondary school program, we don't track where you are if you're not in class. You are required to go to class, but it's the faculty member who keeps track of that. And you have the same freedom as a college student in selecting your activities outside of class, whether you study or go down to the pool and swim some laps, whether you hang out in Harvard Yard and talk to some friends. That's all up to you. So it's very much a college experience.
Awesome, thank you. Many more students would also like to know if there's a standard TOEFL score required for either program.
Want me to go first?
Why don't you go first, Dr. Newcomb?
All right, so in the Harvard Pre-College program, because our program is so quick, you're doing nearly a semester of work in 2 weeks, your language proficiency needs to be very high. We like to see 103 on the TOEFL with 25 on the written. Those are our most successful students are in that range. In fact, the majority of the students who came to the pre-college program had far above that score. If you're taking the IELTS, it is 7.5 with a 7 on the written.
And in the secondary school program, the 7-week program, we look at the application and the student a little bit differently. We don't have cutoff scores. We don't use cutoff scores in anywhere in the application. Not for the GPA, not for TOEFL, not for SAT scores. We're looking at the whole student, and particularly at the courses that they're saying they're expressing interest in. So, for example, if somebody were going to take history or literature at Harvard Summer School, we would expect a very high, I'm talking about an international student now, a very high level of English language proficiency, because they're going to be reading and writing a great deal while they're here. Whereas somebody studying, let's say, chemistry or math, coming internationally from another country, speaking another language as their native language, but having some English language proficiency, enough to do a math or a science course, we would be a little more lenient in terms of the English language score that we'd ask for in that case.
And I think what, a big takeaway that I hear from that a lot is that these test scores aren't here to prohibit or be a barrier. They're really there to support your success when you're here at Harvard. So look at those, strive for those scores, and find out what works best for you. But Dr. Newcomb and Bill,
Mr. Hollinger.
Mr. Hollinger, thank you. They're just really, really supportive of their students. And they then, with the secondary school program in particular, and Bill, I want you to talk about this a little bit more too, about the tutoring that might help somebody who might be just struggling if they might have picked the wrong course.
Yeah, and it's not that we don't have students who do occasionally struggle academically. We have a tutor program connected with the secondary school program, actually with the summer school. And the tutors are here, they're attached to different courses, and they're there to support our students academically. It's a great program. We have over, I would say, 40. Gina, how many tutors do we have every summer?
More than 40.
More than 40.
Seems like.
Because we have so many courses, and almost every single course that our students take has at least one tutor attached to it.
And we have tutoring available in the pre-college program as well. We have a special group of tutors that work just for pre-college, because our courses, again, move so quickly. They really need to be able to see this tutor typically in the same day. We find that the most successful students in the pre-college program have between a 3.85 and a 4.0 GPA. If you change that to the US, 4.0 GPA system. We are very proficient in reading transcripts from around the world. So don't worry if you're on if you're, taking IB courses or the French baccalaureate, or you're in the British system. I've been reading applications for many, many years, and I'm very good at translating the transcripts for you.
I think
Just make sure they're in English.
I think the other thing that I would mention for both programs, when you're looking at courses for registering or even considering what course you might want to take that you're writing your essay about, don't be afraid to contact us. We look at the course syllabi, we know the instructors, we know a lot about the curriculum, and we model both programs after a typical college experience. And with over 200 courses and over 30 courses for each program at any given time, that's a lot of courses to go through, and we can help you filter. We can ask questions to get you excited to think about what you want to do. The biggest mistake you can make when registering for a course is choosing a course that you think you should be taking and not one that you're passionate about taking, that you're excited to learn about, because both programs are very fast-paced, and there's going to be a time, probably, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, where you're like, I really don't want to do this assignment, and you need to have that academic fever for the subject to really get you through the hard times. So for both programs, please contact us.
I would say that the biggest concern that I hear from students is my mom or my dad registered me. I didn't even want to take this course. So please, parents, I implore you, and legal guardians and family members who are assisting with your applicant, I implore you to let them do the application. Let them fill out the forms. Let them choose their course, because they're here taking it.
If I may scroll back to something that we kind of touched on but didn't spend any time with, I think some of you may be trying to differentiate between one program and the other, and the experience here on campus academically is very different. Dr. Newcomb mentioned that pre-college program students are in class for how long? How many hours?
3 hours each day.
3 hours every day. In the secondary school program, most of the summer school courses are 4-credit courses, and a student living on campus would take 2 4-credit courses for 8 credits. And 4-credit courses, the great majority of them meet for 3 hours twice a week. So your schedule would go Tuesday and Thursday in one course, meeting for 3 hours in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and maybe your other course would meet Monday and Wednesday, and you might have let's say a 3-hour class in the late afternoon or evening in your second course. So you wouldn't be in the classroom all day. You might even have a Tuesday, Thursday schedule where your Monday, Wednesday didn't have a class at all, and that's your time. That's how you learn as a college student would, how to organize your time, how to manage your time, when to study, when you can take a break. But it's that kind of schedule for 7 weeks. You get the weekends to study and do summer school activities. Let's see, how many weekends are there in a 7-week semester? There are about 6, right? So it goes at a very intensive pace because both those courses are covering a full semester in 7 weeks. So it does go fast. It's a full-time course load for a college student, but you're here a bit longer and things are stretched out a little bit.
I'd also remind students that if you are coming to one of our programs, this should be your priority. So oftentimes we'll get an email from a student saying, I'm planning on doing a football camp. Can I do it at the same time as the pre-college program? That is nearly impossible. You have, as I said, you have 30 course hours in 2 weeks, plus 2 to mostly 4 hours of homework each day on top of that. And then you have to do 8 co-curricular events in 2 weeks. And you want to have fun and hang out with your peers. So it is really time intensive to do either of these programs. We don't recommend you trying to do something else during the same program.
Hear, hear.
Thank you.
One student has asked, does the counselor report have to be from a counselor, or can I have one of my teachers do it for me?
We strongly recommend that a guidance counselor or a school head does that for you, because they can compare you to other students within your same grade. As opposed to a teacher may only see you for 1 period a day, they're not going to know how you compare throughout all your courses, unless, for example, your teacher happens to be your advisor. And I know in some schools that is the norm. But we strongly recommend that you ask an advisor, a school head, or a guidance counselor to do that. And for those of you who are homeschooled, we ask that you do not have a relative fill out your counselor report. It's better if you could find someone who you've taken a course with online, or if you have a coach or
tutor,
SAT
instructor.
Yeah.
Some adult who's not related to you.
And it's senior academic work.
I would add, and I had a thought there, and I'm trying to recover it. What were you talking about? You were talking about
Guidance counselor.
guidance counselor, yeah. If there's a teacher who really supports you and a teacher in the area in which you might want to study at Harvard, who is willing to write you a letter of recommendation, you can certainly upload that too.
Mhm.
You can send us other letters in addition to what we're directly asking for.
And it's best if you want to upload that right along with your transcripts. That would work great. Emma, do you have another question for us?
Yes, we do. They would like to know if you can elaborate a little more on sending in your transcript if the semester is not over yet.
Sure. So typically we like to see a transcript from your first year of high school or your 9th grade all the way through to your current year. I know for some schools, high school starts in 10th grade, so we recommend you send us your last year of middle school as well, or junior high school. If you do not have your current semester grades, we ask that you submit some kind of progress report. If you could, even log into your school portal and take a screenshot, you can upload that as long as it has your name in the screenshot. We ask that, you be transparent so we can actually know that those are your grades. You can also take a photocopy of some notes from your teachers if you have a mid-semester report card, but we will not consider an application complete unless it includes grades from the fall.
Thank you. One more question we have. Students are very curious to know how many people typically apply for each of these programs and how that differs.
We anticipate about 10,000 applications this year.
May I say something about that?
Please.
It's not how many apply. It's not what percentage of students who apply are admitted. It's really a question of whether you feel ready to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a good academic record, and it's something that you're motivated to do. I would say it's not the numbers. It's up to you, and if you really want to do it, chances are you're qualified. I can say for the secondary school program, we admit most students who apply, because most students who complete the application are qualified to do the work here.
And for pre-college, we tend to get many, many more applications than we have space to fill. So if you really are strongly considering the 2-week program, I urge you to apply as early as possible.
Apply early is the key for both programs.
Thank you. So students are still asking for a little bit more of the difference between earlier and regular decision.
Sure. Do you want to slide to the next screen? There we go. So the early application decision, the major difference between early and regular is that if you apply early, there's a higher priority for financial aid. There's a bigger pool of money available during that period. So if you apply for regular, we may not have as much money to give away. And you have a decision before course registration opens on February 27th for the pre-college program and the first week of March for the 7-week secondary school program. So we will guarantee that we will turn around a decision provided you have a complete application on January 31st. Complete means you have submitted the entire online application, paid your application fee, your counselor has gotten their report in for you, your parent or legal guardian has filled out the rules and policies form, and you have done all your essays and submitted all your transcripts.
And I would add, there's no reason to wait. Get the application in and get a decision. You'll be able to plan much better. You'll be able to register for the courses you want. They won't be full. Your parents will be delighted because they'll have more time to arrange the financing. Our full payment deadline is May 18th. So if you're admitted in on what would it be, February 25th? If you get, they'd have February, March, April, May. they'd have 3 or 4 months to worry about the funding and so forth. You get your financial aid answer on February 25th too. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And for pre-college, our full payment deadline is actually April 15th. So it does get you more time to pay in full before the deadline. Our regular decision comes out very close to our payment deadline. So if you're doing regular decision, you're not going to have as much time to plan for the finances. You will still have the opportunity if you need financial aid to request it, and it's need-based, it's not merit-based. We assume that if you get into the program, you have the merit to be here, but the financial aid is need-based. And then if you apply late, the only difference is that when you apply late, you need to pay in full in order to register for a course. So we recommend that if you apply earlier, you have a little more time to gather your finances together.
And there are other advantages. Did we get an FAQ on applying early and getting an early decision on the website? Yeah.
I believe so.
We worked on some other reasons to apply early and get admitted. For example, traveling gives you more time to plan your travel, and chances are if you're flying into to Boston to attend the program, you'll probably get a better deal on airfare.
And for pre-college, we are a residential only program, so you will need to live on campus. Even if you are a local student, you need to live on campus for those 2 weeks. And you need to attend every class, including the last class in its entirety, in order to get a passing grade in the program. So travel is an important piece of getting here when some of our classes go until 6:15 p.m. on Friday.
Whoa.
So
One of the things that I think is most interesting every year is the perception shock, I guess, if that's a term, of students who get to Harvard's campus and they realize, oh, this is more of an urban campus than I anticipated. So I think I'd be interested. We have a few more minutes here. We're going to wrap up, but as a final sort of last bit of color to the conversation, I'd like to hear what you've heard from students in the past about their favorite places to study around Harvard Square and Harvard campus itself. And then, we'll wrap it up.
So it's not the favorite place to study, but I do like to plug this because I think it's great for both the pre-college program and the secondary school program. Each year we have an annual college fair the second week of July, and we have over 80 different institutions that come. These institutions are excellent institutions. We have several Ivy League schools come, and these are admissions reps that you would normally see at a regional college fair, but for some students, they don't get those regional college fairs. So I really urge you to consider getting involved in the college prep opportunities, the opportunities that our staff, our seasonal staff and our permanent staff can offer, like the college fair, because you're going to end up being so much more prepared for college when you start applying.
I'd say in terms of students' favorite places to hang out, the Smith Campus Center is a beautiful space, and it's air conditioned, which our residence halls are not. So it's a really nice place to be able to cool off. There's some great food in there, and it's open late. So students really like that. They also really appreciate having the full access of all of Harvard's facilities, including libraries and museums. We have world-class museums on campus, which they're able to go to.
Yeah, and of course, we're about two underground stops from Boston, and there's a lot to do in Boston: restaurant, shopping, history. There's the Charles River. There's sailing or rowing on the Charles River. There are trips all over New England within a couple of hours. College visits. And you know what I think one of the great advantages of coming here is, if you're residential, if you live on campus, those proctors are Harvard College students and some other college students, and they want to meet you. They want to be here in the summer. They may be taking a course. They want to work with you. They want to help you. They're so excited themselves about being in college, whether it's Harvard or elsewhere, that they're eager to meet high school students and encourage them and help them with their college applications, their courses, and just all the different ins and outs of leaving home, being on your own, being independent, and living on a college campus.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful insights throughout this evening and really giving students and parents alike who joined us tonight some really great information about applying to these programs on, as you see at the top there, bullet, applications open December 2nd. And just please take note of our contact information. We're a small team here, but we have a great team of enrollment services reps who can help answer your questions during the application process as well, or at least get you into the right bucket to talk to one of my colleagues here, I should say. So please take note of the contact information at the bottom there, both the email and the phone number. They can be found also on the Contact Us section of the Summer School website. On behalf of Harvard Summer School, I'd like to thank Mr. Hollinger, Dr. Newcomb, Gina Neugebauer, and Emma Corbett. I got it. All right. For joining us this evening and helping bring this to life for all of you tonight. Thank you so much. Have a good night. The recording will be available in probably 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Thank you, JP.
Good night.